So this is kind of a repeat of that. You know where I see the difference though, actually?
Please.
The premiums for the bullion silver, the bullion gold are expanding even as the spot price is imploding. It's gone down 2% versus 13% on the stock markets. The demand has absolutely exploded. But you know what's also really interesting, Lior? I have the collectible coins, and the premiums on them have been like the lowest ever. They have not risen yet, but in 2008, the premiums exploded. So even though on bullion, you need to wait until May for delivery, I'm sure that you can still, because I just checked with Eric yesterday on this, the lower quality ones, which are very close to bullion, closer to the spot market, you can still get. That for me is a better option because as a collectible, they're in a different category too. And you're not paying that much of a premium above spot for these. So if you want earlier delivery, this is the way to go. And as soon as the outbreak happened, if you think back to 2008, that was about bailing out the banks, and they had plenty to do that. But they've used up all their ammunition. The coronavirus is about bailing out Main Street. And so, yeah, the helicopter, there's no choice about the helicopter money. They have to send a check to not every man, woman, and child, but to those that are in the gig economy, because they've been moving us in that direction where, you know, you don't own anything, you're working 3 different jobs, you have no benefits, you have no job security. And so, for example, like I get massages regularly, and I actually called my massage therapist. I said, I'm going to cancel everything for the next 2 months. But I know that she lives, you know, very tight. And so I said to her, but I was supposed to buy a new package on our next meeting, so I'll go ahead and buy that anyway. And she's like, you know, thank you, thank you. So yeah, the helicopter money, I knew this was coming. I didn't know it was going to be in 2020, but it had to be, because 2021 is when the LIBOR, they may change their minds on this, but when the LIBOR goes away and the new system has to go into place. So they have to also kind of ramp up for that too, because that's the interest rate reference rate that is tied to trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars worth of contracts globally. And because of the scandal that happened, that was first discovered during the crisis, but then the public discovered in 2012, well, it's not really a viable benchmark anymore. So they've been trying and not having very good luck with creating a new benchmark, a new market for that benchmark, and then converting all those trillions of dollars worth of contracts before the end of 2021. So, you know, look, there's a lot of people that are suffering, and this is really a big deal. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you don't shut down whole countries and states and tell everybody, you know, don't fly, don't go to restaurants, don't go to the theater, don't meet with more than 10 people if it wasn't, you know, serious. And I am not a conspiracy theorist. I have to prove everything. My nickname is Data Gal, so I cannot prove this, and I want to make that crystal clear. But it is kind of handy, because even though we'll get over the coronavirus, the economic damage we will not be able to get over. So now it's helicopter money. So what's next? MMT, modern money theory, where they just print everything into oblivion. And that is a great excuse to not really have to deal with LIBOR at the end of next year, but to reset the global financial system into a brand new system. So I'm thinking the market from last week had another 40% drop before it was even fairly valued. And quite honestly, in trend cycles, things always go from undervaluation to fair valuation to overvaluation to fair valuation to undervaluation. So, it depends on the how much more ammunition like the plunge protection team will have, how
Lynette,
much impact, because this is going to push us into the hyperinflation. Not one little teeny weeny doubt in my mind. Absolutely. And some levels, we've actually already seen that at the grocery store. I've heard stories of women fighting over toilet paper, and every man for himself, every woman for himself. This is really more the time to come through as community. But it is also an opportunity, and I really want to put this out there because you and I've talked over the years. So this is something we've been talking about for a really long time, but it's been very hard for people to believe that this could happen. So what I think is likely to happen, what this is a taste of what a real financial crisis, this next financial crisis, is going to look like. And, I don't see as many people coming together in community as I would personally like to see, but I think everybody needs to look at what's happening and believe it, so that if they haven't gotten prepared with food, water, energy, security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, shelter, those are the things that no matter what's happening in the economy, we need to feel secure that we have those in place. So do I think that this piece is going to, pass? I mean, I think all global central banks are going to print us into oblivion. So for a minute, when the fear of getting the virus and all of the deaths passes, then people are going to leave their houses again and start to live a more normal life. And the reason why you see my hesitancy, because I've been thinking about this for myself. I'm a very busy woman, and what I have a tendency to do is add things on my plate without taking anything off. So just more and more and more. But because I am really hunkering down, I've taken a ton off my plate. How long they're going to be off my plate is in question. I don't really know. But will I have the opportunity to create new habits so that when I actually do go back into, and we all go back into normal society, are we going to value some of the things as much as we valued them before we went through this crisis? Am I going to reload my plate up as full as I had it before? Or am I going to think about other choices because I'm now learning what I can and cannot live without?